Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 4v4 custom match here on the most amazing Noxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. We will start with Team 1 on the northeastern side of the map, then we'll end with Team 2 on the southwestern side of the map, also known as the red team versus the blue team. Starting off with Team 1's regular style player, we have in orange color. Orange, it is Orb. He's playing as a UEF for this match as an 1849 rated. To his west in Chevy Crimson, it is Book of Guns. He is a UEF as well as an 1191 rated. In the middle for Team 1, we have in Light 10, it is Alcalaz? Something like that. Al for short. I'll call him Al this game. He is a Cybran. He is an 1106 rated. And rounding off Team 1, we have in Blood Angel Red. It is Vasram. He's playing as a UEF. He is a 1457. So for Team 1 side of the map, it's very simple. 3 UEF and 1 Cybran. That's it. No Aeon and no Seraphim Tech for Team 1. Moving on to Team 2's regular style player, we have an Amethyst Purple. It is the UEF of Zelby Lykob. He's playing his UEF as a 1589 rated. I will note he is the highest rated player on Team 2, and I forgot that Orb on Team 1 is the highest rated player on his team and in the game overall. Apologies to that to Orb. To his east, we have in Royal Blue, it is Sailor Moon playing as a Cybran. He is a 1415 rated. In the middle for Team 2, we have in Tropical Ocean Blue, it is Skynet 12345 He is playing as a Cybran. He is 1161 rated. Aptly named there, kind of, because Cybrans are more cyborgs versus the Skynet, which is straight machine. Close enough, at least in this IP. And to his west, we have in Stitch Blue, it is Hannibal, also as a Cybran. He is a 1488 rated. So for Team 2 side of the map, it is the exact opposite of Team 1 in the sense that they have one UEF and 3 Cybran with 0 Aeon and 0 Seraphim. So for the entirety of this match, there are no Aeon players and no Seraphim players. So apologies to those loyal to the princess and apologies to those who love to arrive late, but just make grand entrances at the same time. Hopefully you enjoy the game nonetheless, and hopefully those that enjoy Cybran versus UEF affairs, hopefully you enjoy this as well. And for this 8-player game, let's take a look at their reclaim situation, currently sitting at 53,000 mass in reclaim. Some of that reclaim is further out, some of that reclaim is very much at home, and some of that reclaim is kind of in middle-ish kind of situations. There is some reclaim in the middle of the map, but the majority of it is around the edges of the map with some spotting in the middle. Let's take a look at where these players are headed off to. At least for Team 2 so far, they have one headed north, being Hannibal, probably most likely facing off against Book of Guns for Team 1. In the middle, it's most likely a 2v2. We don't see movement. Oh, scratch that. We see some movement now from Al, with Team 1's Orb pushing against Team 2's Skynet and Zelby. And on the eastern side, we have Team 1's Voss versus Team 2's Sailor Moon. So no advantage one way or the other. It does look like Team 1's Book of Guns is more than likely favoring the southern direction, more the middle of the map. We might see a 1v0 situation happening. We do see that Team 1 does have some transports over here grabbing the reclaim up. It looks like some of them got shot down, but some of them were able to land. A nice little Team 1 Mech Marine that has some veterancy, which is good for him, trying to secure that small little plateau. We do see one unit from Team 2. Oh, is this new? Did they add this little kind of bridge arch thing here? I don't remember this being there. I don't even think... Can units even use that? I don't know if units can use that, but I thought it was just kind of open, but I guess not. Anyway, we do have the first combat action between Orb of Team 1 and Skynet of Team 2. Faction advantage will favor Team 1, at least in the hit point department, because Orb has 2,000 additional more than Team 2, which actually bode not super great for Team 2, at least as of right now, because that means Team 1 has collectively 6,000 more hit point. Sorry, 4,000. Is it 4,000 or 6,000? Well, the UEFs, yeah, 4,000, because the Cybrans cancel out, the UEF cancel out, and then it's 2 UEFs. So it's 4,000 additional hit points total for Team 1 for commanders. But don't really see that playing a big role cumulatively. That's a word. Versus more just individualized. We do see it's, again, a Cybran versus a UEF in the east. It is a Cybran and a UEF versus a UEF and a Cybran, and then it's a Cybran versus a UEF. So yeah, really not going to be more of a pooling the hit points together kind of thing for Team 1. Or Team 2, technically. Chevy Crimson player of Book of Guns going for his gun upgrade. We probably will see Hannibal starting his soon. And he's now claimed the northwestern corner. There are two civilian structures on the map. We don't see either moves for them yet just because there are some Team 1 PD here, so it's a little bit more annoying to go after them. We do see Orb is taking some hits from Team 2's commanders, and we do see Skynet is almost in the yellow, and Zelby has fallen into the yellow, but we do see now Al is taking the brunt of the damage, allowing Orb to get out of there a little bit. Couple of forces inbound from Team 2's Sailor Moon get past, but run right into a Team 1 PD emplacement. More than enough to handle those couple of Mantis. I think even the engineers maybe could have reclaimed them if the APM was there fast enough. Gun upgrade started for Team 2's Hannibal. He's just lining the troops up there. In the middle, we still see action between the comms, some of the units, but nothing too crazy here for Team 1 or Team 2. We do see kind of just an avoidance of this western side, at least in the middle. The eastern side's mainly where the action's at. Maybe we'll see Book of Guns exploit that and go that way. Maybe try to circumvent these forces from Hannibal. We'll see what he ends up doing over there, though. We do see Team 2 stacking up some defenses here. And we also see he's going after the civilian structures in the south using the T1 Medusa and going after those T1 PD. He might push in. And again, you could try to capture the T2 power generator here and get 5,000 power a second for free. I mean, I feel like at a bare minimum, reclaiming all of this and then grabbing the radar system is probably the best thing, or one of the best things, because just putting a power generator there is nice, but kind of makes it a glowing object. The radar system's kind of like, build those all the time everywhere anyway, or at least you should. So, it's less of a easy target or a glowing object for, in this case, Team 1 to go after. We do see gun upgrade started for Al. We have Nano started for Orb. He might go for gun after, but he might just stick with gun just because he is in the regular slot. He's going for T3 air now. He might just stay back there. I like this checkered pattern with these pigeons. Almost looks like a chessboard, that kind of situation. You need to put something in the middle of them, though. Maybe not any storage, because that's going to blow all that up. Ooh, what could you put there? I mean, you can put wall sections, but that's not as inviting or not as aesthetically pleasing. I don't know. I'll think about it. Stealth started for Team 1's Al. He might go straight for Nano with all this assistance nearby. We're at 10 minutes. I will note that this replay is over an hour long. It is a ladder, but it does go over an hour, so just be prepared for that. So get your popcorn, drinks, all your snackies and whatnot, because it's going to be a longer one. We do see Hannibal now engaging Book of Guns. It's gun versus guns, so no hit point advantage. Sorry, no additional hit points for Team 2's Hannibal, and Book of Guns is at 1-star vet, so he actually has enough hit points to survive a one-on-one fight with the comm at full HP. We do see gun upgrade now starting for him, so he's going to go for gun. And then we do see Voss is like, no, you're not building stuff up there. Go away. Stealth started for Team 2 Skynet. In the east here, Al is inbound with gun and stealth as well. Zelby is here with no gun. So it is actually a 2v1 now in favor for Team 2 if both of the commanders push currently. Looks like a couple of forces maybe inbound from Sailor Moon just to help out a lot and a little bit, because there's a lot of forces here. Zelby's still sitting here. Probably needs to push in a little bit. They could probably try to kill off Al right now. Skynet is really falling in the hit point department and not looking good for him. And there's Rhinos here. There's Mantis. There's a lot of forces here from Team 1. Overcharge constantly raining into that commander. And there he goes. All of them almost die in that one explosion, and Al is falling back. Zelby, I don't think he took any damage from that. I think Al actually did, though. He's now back up in the green, though, at 2-star vet, so he's going to get out of there. Nice kill for Team 1. First blood for Al and for Team 1 and generally. And now it is a 4v3 in favor for Team 1. And the base so far belongs to Zelby. He probably will keep that, using it to boost his air grid. Team 2 is at 50% for their T3. Team 1 is already at T3 going for their pigeons, so they are far and away ahead in the air game, which might make a difference. Now that we see Zelby has double base, he might put a little bit more emphasis on going for it. Well, he's getting up there decently quick now. He's going for a shield to protect his power generators. That's definitely smart, considering Team 1's orb might go for bomber just to protect the power, so that's a smart move there from Zelby. You see that a lot of players don't really go for power just because, go for shielding just because, I mean, if they both get it online relatively at the same time, it's a lot of mass for one unit. Maybe you kill something off, maybe you don't kill something off with the strat bomber, and might want that mass and energy for ASF. So it's a gamble, obviously, going for the strat bomber unless you can guarantee you a decent amount of damage, either economically, infrastructure-wise, which I guess is economically, or otherwise. Gun upgrade started for Zelby. We see some forces inbound from Book of Guns. He's attacking both this way and the westward direction. He's almost isolating Team 2 from that northwestern corner, and Team 1 is out there reclaiming right now. They soon will approach, and we see only one PD is eliminated, so they'll still have to eliminate at least one more to get somewhat near that position. Hannibal is in the yellow, not looking good for him. Book of Guns is that 2-star vet. Again, Team 1 doing very well, pushing into Team 2's territory, both in the middle and in the west. And, of course, they got a kill, so that's going to help out with the APM as the game stretches on. The units not pushing in. They could have probably killed off that T2 mechs by now, but those T1 strikers are not moving anytime soon. And that is a little unfortunate, but looks like, again, Book of Guns was distracted dealing with this to the north at a bare minimum, to give him some credit. We do see some missiles firing into some Team D from Team 1. Again, the buzzkill was really a buzzkill with missiles, to be honest, and it's not really great, as evidenced by the fact that, well, it still gets destroyed, but that's also due to the fact that the Cyberns have the split technology for missiles. So you still do some damage, and eventually you'll kill something, unless you have enough PD to deal with that and the subsequent missiles. So usually one TMD is enough, but especially in the case of the buzzkills, they are, in my opinion, the worst of the four. The best being Volcanoes, and then it's kind of a tie between the Zapper and the Seraphim. I think the Zapper beats it out barely just because of the extra, I think it has a little bit extra range on board the Zapper. Transport is shot down by Team 1's ASFs. That was a lively attempt by Team 2, but it was unfortunately destroyed before its time could actually come about. T3 is online again with that second base, really pumping out that mass for him. It is helping him catch up into the air game at least slightly. It will kind of fall a little bit short on the land situation. He does have T3 land also online going for Loyalist. He probably will switch up to bricks here soon. But hey, Loyalists are also nice for redirecting missiles. ASFs catching up to ASFs for Team 1 and Team 2. Again, very much a skirmishing, nothing really too crazy. We even see some interceptors helping out, at least in this stage. And that ASF is shot down. So Team 2, slight. And when I say slight, I mean like 1%, if that, in favor for ASF count right now. Just because it's, what, 3 or 4 maybe for Team 2? 5. It's 5, excuse me, 5 ASFs for Team 2. And Team 1 is at 3. So, you know, not really a big advantage. We do see that orb is over. Did he walk? No, there's no way he walked this way and Team 2 didn't notice. He must have walked this way, just walking back and forth. So it looks like he might be pushing that eastern side now. He does have Gun and Nano online and almost is at 1-star vet. Western side, we have Book of Guns being hit by Hannibal's forces. Book of Guns pushes forward, I think, a little bit too much. Isn't behind his mainline defense force, and now Hannibal is just cooking him alive in that ACU enclosure, whatever you want to call it. Book of Guns losing all of his forces here, and he's surrounded by rhinos, and they really only have a couple of things to shoot at, except for him. Hannibal, you can actually fall back at this point and not get hit by the AoE, but looks like he wants to confirm the kill nonetheless. He's going to lose 2,500, but not too bad to secure the kill on Book of Guns. Looks like Book of Guns, did he get a rank invented at the last second? Looked like he did, but he kills off the forces in his death anyways, and that is a win for Team 2, now evening it out at 3v3. But at the same time, we have Voss and Orb pushing in against Sailor Moon's position. He's on 2-star vet, Gun and Stealth versus Gun Nano, 1-star vet for Orb. Actually, almost 2-star vet for both of them at this point. And it's 2-1. Now, I don't think he's going to get out of there anytime soon. We see some forces actually falling back. Well, mainly because they're missile launchers, and AA is not going to really help anything in this regard. And everything else from Team 2 on this eastern front is being wiped out. Sailor Moon, do you have anything? You have facilities being built. That's not going to help out. Orb is at 2-star vet. Voss is on 2-star vet. So all the hit point losses have been regained. So there's really no helping out in that regard for Team 2's favor. And Team 1 will lose another player, making this a 3v2 here shortly. We did see a counterattack inbound from Hannibal against Team 1's base. We've actually seen them in the base now, and Orb does end up getting the final blow on Sailor Moon, making it 3v2. Now we're going to go back northward. We have L inbound dealing with this Loyalist push from Team 2, going after tons of Team 1 P-gens, which isn't super important at this stage, but, 20 power times however many, P-gens get killed, they make a difference. Gunship online for Orb, trying to help out a little bit. Going to get shot down here shortly. Counter Loyalist inbound. We have E-storages here. T2 mechs is going down. Oh, they get EMP. Did they get the E-storage? They grabbed the E-storage. Almost grabbed that T2 mechs. Looks like the remainder of those forces are either pushed back or destroyed. Some stuff was lost for Orb, but not a whole lot. And I guess technically Book of Guns, because technically it was Book of Guns, but now it's Orb. Now we have Team 1's Voss cleaning up the southeastern side. Team 1 has control of both corners at this point, and that eco advantage that Team 2 is currently enjoying might be short-lived because it's maybe power-related. Nope, not power-related, but it's going to be short-lived because Team 1 has a bigger percentage of the map under their control, which means either denying mexes for Team 2, which they're going to currently do now, or just straight-up take the mexes, which is even more in favor for Team 1. So not looking good for Team 2 overall. It's not great, but we'll see if the game ends up siding with them sooner rather than later. We do see Team 2 is pushing back now in the north, so maybe it's going to even out anyways, and you can just throw whatever I just said right out the window, as it normally does happen, and prove them wrong. I think I want to say 95% of the time. I think 5% of the time I'm pretty on the nose, but for the most part I'm always proven wrong. It's just a fact. Of life, of FAF, of whatever. Just like, no. You can take what the caster says and maybe 5 minutes later throw it right out the window because something else changed and it changed the calculus or whatever. They can't shoot upward, but they did take out that T2 mechs there. I think there was some Lobos somewhere. Not Lobos, sorry, Medusa. There's one out there. There it is. They might be able to take out that one. We have missiles. Oh, that's what it is. Missiles raining in, killing off that TMD. There's a TML there. That's going to die here shortly. I think almost everything on that plateau will die, especially if they put the missiles right in there. They should be able to shoot over. I think they were within range of that. Nothing really attacking down the middle just because it's somewhat not advantageous for Team 1. There's just wall sections there that kind of, curtail most movement. And honestly, it's actually more advantageous for Team 1 economically to just go on the eastern and western side because there's not really a lot of mexes in the middle. Yeah, they're missing out on these two, but there's a lot more mexes down there anyway. We do have some Loyalists inbound right where I marked. Looks like they're going to stack right in front of those mexes. We have now Bricks and Loyalists on the prowl for Team 2's Zelby. And it looks like Zelby has triple base, while Hannibal is only at one base. Team 1's Orb is on double base. He's the one that has double base because there's only one dead player for Team 1. We do see mexes being eliminated up here to the northwest. Engineers reclaiming as much as they can from the civilian structures. Team 1, I think, already pretty much reclaimed everything. Yep. Going on the last structure now. That is all of the pretty much reclaim that started on the map. And in terms of at least where the game currently sits, we have Team 1 at 360, Team 2 at 460. So about 100 mass per second in Team 2's favor. That number will probably jump roughly evenly because we have mexes being built here. We have mechs that still is alive down there that hasn't been killed off yet from Team 1, but probably will be killed off here soon. I mean, you could send like even just one broadsword up there, kill off that mex and call it a day. Team 2 definitely knows it's up there. Oh, they don't know. Actually, they don't know it's up there. Never mind. They have no idea. We have Loyalists and Bricks stacking up. We're seeing some Percys now emerge for Team 1, and that is going to be, I think, a decently favorable thing for Team 1 is the amount of UEF tech, being the Percys, the Spearheads, and technically the mobile shielding, because Team 2 has UEF tech too, but it's the amount of them that are available. Really, one way to neutralize Percys is just spam a whole bunch of stuff and they just get overwhelmed. Or you blow them up with nukes. You can also do that. or blow up the factory so you can't even build them to begin with. You can also do that. Will that happen? We'll see. But it is going to favor Team 1 in the more bigger land engagements. Like, there's only a couple Perseus here, so it's not terrible. But if it was the same amount of Perseus with the same amount of bricks, and there was some maybe 1 or 2 assisting shielding, yeah, that'd be a win for the Perseus for Team 1. And the nice thing that's happening right here is all the forces from Team 2 are pushing closer to Voss's position, allowing the reclaim to land closer to Team 1, which makes it easier for Team 1 to scoop up the reclaim. And that is the benefit of being the defense position, is that the stuff comes to you rather than you go to the stuff. And in terms of reclaim, we'll note Team 1, is in the lead, 88,000 versus 61. Again, not actually terrible behind for Team 2 considering. ASF's starting to number, I think, a little bit more in Team 1's favor. And Team 1 actually takes the fight regardless and absolutely stomps on those ASFs. And now they're going to stomp on those gunships as well. We have 1 flat cannon in the area that I see. There's a bouncer in the area. That's helping out a little bit, a smidgen. And those gunships just not having a fun time. I mean, Team 1 loses a couple of ASFs to the AA in the area, but honestly, they clean sweep Team 2, both in the ASFs and in the gunships department. So I think they'll take the loss in ASFs for the win of killing off the gunships. Team 1 PD stacked pretty close together. AoE weapons would be nice against that. Perseus weapons, as much as they look like they're AoE, they are not. They are. I think they have maybe a smidgen of an AoE, but I don't think it's even enough to hit like the PD emplacement literally right next to it. It's just a single shot, single target weapon, which has its benefits and its downsides, of course, as everything in this game. Gunships now from Team 1 saying, hey, we own gunships now, you don't. Haha, there's no AA in this mix, not even a bouncer, not even a banger, being the T3 and T2 mobile units, so not great there. ASF's inbound, and then they're going to get either shoot away or stomped on again. And Team 1, I think they're just going to take the airlock at this point. We'll see if they end up taking it or not. We have RAS being built. Yep, they're just going to take the airlock, which, again, eventually doesn't work because the team that you're airlocking can just build AA underneath, which they're currently doing now. But for right now, Team 2 just does not have air at all. And it's not looking good in the air department for Team 2 at all. It looked decent because Zelby was on double base and Orb was only on 1, but with Orb on double base sitting at 240, it's looking a little bit better, and that's mainly because he can focus almost entirely on air, while Zelby has to focus on land and air, and it's dividing his attention, less APM, that sort of thing, and it really eats away at you, especially on these ladder matches. In those 6v6, 5v5, 8v8 games, you can sometimes get away with kind of, disseminating all of that APM loss gradually because there's, that many more players to be able to, divide the weight up. Especially if you have 2 air players, you can go down to 1. It is a loss, but it's not that big of a loss versus going from solely an air player to an air and a land player. Or a navy player, depending on the map. We have artillery shooting at... we have missiles shooting at artillery, it looks like. And missiles not really hitting anything because the units are moving. And there's also some zappers in the area, so that's also not helping. But that eastern side getting decently stacked. You can see all of Zelby's focus from land is worried about this situation. Then we have Hannibal focusing this. So again, the middle is being ignored by both teams. And the benefit of that is that frees up essentially one player, being Al, to focus on whatever he wants. And right now he's focusing on mass, it looks like, to try to catch up to his teammates. He's at 160. And he's getting some mass fabs online with a decent amount of mass storage to accelerate the mass gains from said mass storage. As you can even put some T2 mass fabs in there to even maximize it more. I would like to see a shield placed here just to protect that, because that is incredibly volatile. 1 strat bomber. I would take 2 strat bombers technically to blow that up, and bad things happen. Cascade, not good things. We have Crab almost done for Team 2's Zelby. We have gunships right fetching there. The ASFs, there was a moment of hesitation where Team 1 did not send the ASFs in, and that could have given Team 2 the opportunity to kill them off. They didn't take it because they probably didn't want to risk it, which I don't blame them. It's definitely a risk. But we have the invasion of Perseus. I Dropping off Percy's for Team 1. Let's see, 1 transport, 2 transport, 3 transport, 4. That's a dozen Percy's. Airfight happens, protecting the gunships. 1 transport does not land in time, which, again, can be annoying because the other 3 landed. Crab is unfortunately going to finish for Team 1, which means the attack from Team 1 will be minimized severely. There were some bricks moving in, but not fast enough to be able to deal with the majority of this threat. T3 landing quarter is going to be lost, but in a game where we have 3 Cyberns and 1 UEF, there's going to be another T3 land headquarters somewhere. So at least with Cybern Tech. And T3 Max looks like that gets killed off. So T3 land and T3 Max with a couple of P-gens. I mean, it's a loss, but is it really though? I mean, Team 1 did lose a lot of Percy's for not really a lot of gains. But I love the coordination though from Team 1's boss and Orb. Done very well for themselves in that regard. We do see a lot of communications from the game, which indicate to me it's primarily voice chat. And usually in TMMs like this, you know, the 3v3s, the 2v2, especially 2v2s, the 4v4s, that sort of thing, you're going to see a lot more, you know, on Discord and whatnot, because, you know, it's more of a competitive scene versus the more relaxed, sometimes not relaxed, custom games. So, you know, it's just the nature of the beast and whatnot. We do see forces now from Al moving in to assist the Western Front for Orb. And again, he's prioritizing eco, but he's still producing some land forces, so he's not entirely out of the land force game, and he is encircling his factories with engineers, maybe just to, you know, when he's ready to spam it out. SMD coming online. I don't like how far forward it is, but it does do a decent job of protecting a huge chunk of that section of bases for Team 1. Team 2's SMD is a little bit farther back, but again, it still does a decent job of protecting almost the entirety of that base, or bases, I should say. Air grid expanding for Zelby. And on the eastern side, FAF Boy is online, Megalith is online. So in a 1v1 fight, again, obviously a lot of factors depend, but if the Megalith is within range, the Fat Boy dies. If the Fat Boy can keep doing this, where he's attacking the Megalith as it's catching up to him, then yeah, the Fat Boy wins. Just, you're shooting at them without them shooting at you. You're eventually going to kill them just by the fact that you're doing more damage at any point in that regard. Little AA base being built on the upper plateau. This is going to be annoying for Team 2. That means they can't just fly units over that without getting shot at, so they'll have to spend some time dealing with that. We have some Janus inbound from Team 2. Love to see the Janus. Usually it's the Corsair and the Notha that we see. We hardly ever see the Holy Hellfire and Janus. We have the Scorchers for the T1 UEF side of things, but hardly ever the Janus. I like the Janus. I think the design looks pretty cool. I like how their wings open up, kind of similar to how the U-Wing works in the Star Wars universe. It looks very similar to me. They don't go, I think, all the way back as far as the U-Wings do, but, you know, they have that same still effect like you saw. And look at this. The Megalith is already almost dead, and that Fat Boy is now getting hit. Needs one more dual shot, which it gets it, but look at that. 14,000 hit points and falling, and it's barely even reached the base at this point. And that reclaim will favor Team 1 because it's right fetching there. The only way Team 2 can make sure they secure the reclaim is they actually post up right here. They secure the entire eastern side right here and not really worrying about it. We don't see a lot of AA. The gunships will eat apart that Megalith. There is one ASF that gets absolutely denied. We do see one bouncer inbound, which may help. We do see the Megalith now is on 2-star vet. The bricks are not pushing in. They're letting the Megalith do all the work, which, again, not having to lose forces is one thing, and I totally agree with saying, hey, let the guy with the longer range do the weapon firing and just kind of sit there and watch the sights happen and whatnot. But this does give Team 1 a little bit more time to secure this position, or at least try to get reinforcements over here to secure it. But, yeah, that Megalith is going to fall back. And look at that. All of that mass, not only from Team 1, but from Team 2, it's going to be there. And that Megalith is going to die without gaining anything, either position or whatever. And then it's going to kill off a ton of bricks anyways with its crash damage. So it's just not great for Team 2 on that front. Western Front, a little bit better. They are piercing the veil at this point, but again, they're still working their way forward, and the PD is just a little bit more strong than what they maybe accounted for. And it's just going to hold barely for Team 1, but it is heavily damaged. You know, a couple of Janus, you know, something just kind of scorched this area. Using the T1 unit name. Speaking of Janus, oh, no, those are Corsairs, never mind. But the same kind of vibe, though, just using somebody to blow the rest of that up. ASF's continuing to just be annihilated, and the problem with sending little bits and pieces out is those ASFs kill off those ASFs from Team 2, the ones from Team 1, super quickly. Maybe Team 1 loses 1, maybe 2, but Team 2 loses 6, 7, 8. In that trade where, you know, Team 2 loses all of theirs and they only kill off maybe 1 or 2 from Team 1, will eventually just make that super big ASF ball happen for Team 1 because you will keep building ASFs anyways. Speaking of building stuff, we do see that the Novax is done for Team 2. I did see it out of the corner of my eye. So that is a thing. And Team 1's probably going to know about it at this point. They know 100% about it. And they're going to prep something for it. I would assume, again, the big thing. Why is that not shielded? If I was Team 2 Zelby and I saw this would be my first target. Well, I don't know what happened with my little drawing tool. That would be my first target. Because that is a cascade waiting to happen, regardless if it's P-Gens or Mass Fabs or a mixture of both, which it is. All those you could just blow up an E-Storage, and that would cascade everything. That's 500 hit points. That's, what, a Janus or 2, maybe? That's not even one. I think that is just one Janus. Oh, Satellite, you got to go. You got to blow it up. You got to blow it up. Come on, you got to blow it up. That's just waiting to happen. Yeah, you want to go after the mexes. I get that, but that's so much mass. That's 21 times 5. That's 100 mass per second. Oh, going after. I mean, taking out the radar is not a bad call, but it's right there. Does he notice? Oh, he sees it. Oh, it's gonna bug me. Not as much as crashing out on that last episode where you put P-Gens around a Novax. That you just don't do that. You put shielding and only shielding around the Novax. Maybe AA, maybe that or PD, depending on the invasion. Hey, there's a cascade. There's a chunk of it. It's gone. He's repairing the Mass Fab as we speak. He did see it eventually. Okay, he wasn't going to wait that long. Okay, good. I was like, it's just waiting to be shot at. Monkey Wood on the western side. Megawith being built on the western side now for Hannibal. We have transports dropping off forces from Team 2 using the Continentals. Yeah, that's a surprise. Yeah, why didn't they use Continentals in that invasion earlier? Maybe they just wanted to get it out sooner, maybe. They just had T2 on hand. And Mass Fab, it should kill off this one with the AoE from the volatile explosion. It should kill it off. Let's see. There it goes. Yep, one shot kills everything else off. That's a chunk of eco eliminated for Team 1. And again, Team 1 is still in the lead. It doesn't drop him entirely, but it drops him a significant portion. I mean, again, 100 plus mass per second there. I mean, it's a lot of power and mass to lose. And now we see Alk is dropped, considerably, and now he's super negative relatively on mass per second. Or at least spending mass versus gaining mass. Team 1's defense is getting thicker and thicker and thicker, and it's just being essentially turning into just a kill box for Team 2 or for Team 1 to utilize against Team 2. Honestly, at this point, you might as well just go this way. And you're probably going to still hit some strays or get some strays going this way, but a lot of that range is from those Ravagers. Everything else isn't within range. I mean, even the the Triads and whatnot. There's 1 or 2 Triads dotted, but nothing too much. You'd easily go this way. Or, here's a better idea. Fetch and go this way. And just completely avoid this. Just go, no, it's not worth the, 1 mix that's there? Not even worth it. Just go that way. Just go north and be done with it. We see the shielding all popping up for Team 1 as they should, given the satellite presence. And oh, look what we have here. The one of 3 UEFs from Team 1 do the UEF thing, while the only UEF from Team 2 does the UEF thing twice. Underneath the same shield. Not terrible. Not bad. Not good, because it needs more shielding. But at least they're both shielded. Both shielded. How many times I've seen, Mass Fabs, especially the Mass Fab farm we just saw, Novaxes, artillery, game enders, they're not shielded, and they blow up to whatever the heck is shooting at them, even if it's just a couple of strap bombers, and it could have been easily saved, for the most part, with just 1 shield. Even if it was a T2 shield, something. They're trying to crash out on that. But it's just one of those, like, come on, just shield the things. Like, this needs a shield. Case in point, needs a shield, and he's building one now. Love it. And he's building shielding all around the place because he sees the Novaks inbound from Team 1. And at this point, it's still a 3v2. Nobody has died for a while. Ever since Sailor Moon was killed off, it's been a 3v2 for a while. And at 38 minutes, we're closing on about 2/3 of the game. Team 1 at 3 players left. Team 2 is at 2 players left. Their eco is relatively evening out at this point, given the mass fab explosion that we saw earlier. Oh, that awkward. Going for a torpedo. There's no water on the map. Never mind, going for laser. Yeah, it makes more sense. But let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't, because I don't know, why not at this point? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate all the time and attention to give to the videos. Again, I really, really do. I don't know how much I can state that. I really do appreciate it, so thank you so much. As we watch the satellite absolutely annihilate maybe a P-Gen or a mass fab or maybe both. Laser started again for Hannibal. He's at RAS. He may be building it just to build at least half of the telemaser, but again, with a team of 3 Cybrans, granted 2 of them are dead, he's the only one that can do telemaser. Team 1's only Cybran, being Al, is still alive, so he can do telemaser. We do Monkey Lord in the middle of the map from Team 2, and that is heavily damaged before the fight with the monkeys for the bricks, and that's a decently sized brick wall. I don't think that's enough for a brick house, though. Brick house, of course, being 48 bricks, giving that 4 walls would be a brick house. I forget, one of the commenters, one of you guys actually said, like, that's actually just a brick house. And I go, that's a good point. That's just a brick house. That's the new name of 4 walls of bricks, is just a brick house of bricks. We have maybe assassinating the Omni sensor right there. I mean, it's not a bad call, to be honest. Wiping out the eyes for your opponent so they can't see as well. I mean, it works. There's a backup one over here, technically, so they still have that one. This one, I would argue, is more important because it's farther forward. You know, this is everything they can see on that side of the map, and then, actually, that's the wrong player. That's orbs they can see here. I mean, they can barely clip in here. So, I mean, realistically, it's not as important. Book of Guns, comments about something down here. We do see a satellite assassinating some mexes at this point. That's not fun for Team 2. They need all the eco they can get. Nobody, being nobody on team-wise, has crossed 1,000 mass a second. And again, this map is a 10x10. It is a fourth the size of the map that we normally like to see. Because technically you have another 10x10 there, another 10x10 there, and another 10x10 there, making it a 20x20. Which means a 5x5 is a 16th the size of a 20x20. So, super small map, 5v5s. We do see 5x5, not 5v5s, I should say. But Megalith is being reclaimed now. I think that's been there for a while, but they're using it to fuel that FAF construction. Looks like the FAF for Team 1 was killed off on its way out by either the satellites or just by the, Janus that are overhead, and there's Corsairs too, so it could have been a mixture of both. Chunk of engineers being wiped up by engineers. That is a great use of the Janus, just wiping out a ton of engineers in one fell swoop. Do not land your ASFs next to Percy's. What are you doing? Not a good idea. Teleporter has been started for Hannah below. He probably will die. Going after whatever he's trying to go after. There's an artillery that's in the yellow. There's a satellite that's there. We have Owlet gun and... What in the world is this? Well, that's a thing. It's only on 200 out of the 8,000 hit points, but Team 1 wants to end the game in style, do it UEF style. The overcompensator himself has appeared. Not done yet, but he's being worked on. We do see, looks like maybe an artillery tried to be built there, but got canceled immediately by the Novaks. I don't think any... Team 2 has any idea that, they have no idea. They have, some P-Gens. That could be just another air grid for all they know. They don't really know entirely. But it is only a T2 air instead of a T3. But, they could have upgraded it to T3. Satellites going after... No, they're going after the FAF point. That's not a bad call, to be honest. Wiping out the FAF points, especially with 2 satellites. You can shoot through the shielding twice as fast. So it makes it a lot easier to actually kill the FAF off decently quick. I haven't seen any Cybran Tech experimentals for Team 1. And technically they're from... Oh, no, there it is. Okay, I was going to say, he's got to be building one at some point. Still no other satellites, just bar the one. As much as I love game enders, T3 artillery, especially in 4v4, 3v3 ladder, I mean, that's more viable. And especially on a 10x10 where you can put the artillery literally anywhere on the map and you would hit everything on the map. And of course the Mavor has infinite range, but it does have a minimum range. I think it's a little bit bigger than a T3, but just barely, I believe. But anyway, the point being is that, like, it's not really, I think it's about the same. It's not really viable just because it's such a mass sink. Now, if you want to use it as a, hey, somebody try to go after this thing and we'll just stab you in the back with it, giving Team 2 the eyes, Hannibal like, hey, there's a Mavor being built, you should go after this. They build a bunch of PD here and then wipe them out kind of thing. This nice little dangly bob. But we'll see. We'll see what Team 2 ends up doing with that. Strat bombers inbound. They kill off the fatty that was pretty much already going to die, maybe for the most part, from the satellites anyways. I feel like that's not a waste of fatties or strats, but I mean, it's more kill confirm than anything else at that point. Or kill secure. I don't know. I don't know if it was worth a couple of strats. Especially at the point where the Fat Boy... I keep saying Fat Boys. The Novax has already had it at. 44 minutes on the clock. Team 2 is going for their own artillery. I understand wanting to cut down on costs. I don't like artillery embedded in air grids because it gives a huger target for the air grid. You know, making it its own thing like this, for example. Yeah, you can have this here, whatever. And it's its own little thing. It's still, you know, we should go after the Mavor or the artillery or the whatever, but we're not also hitting the air grid. If it's artillery versus artillery, or if it's artillery versus a nuke, and this is a huge win for Team 1 if they get a nuke. Even if they place it right here, they'll get 2 Novaxes, almost the entire air grid, or pretty much as you really need to with the T3 air quarters there, and the artillery, and that's a 100,000+ mass killed right there, 1 nuke, done. I get it, why they cut down costs and all that, but it's so worrisome, especially with the shielding going down. That's also not good, because then you can start a cascade and you'll kill off the artillery anyway. So there's even that to worry about as well. And SMDs are being hit again. I don't know if he's going to go for a nuke or not. I mean, it's nice to take out SM. Where did he go? I figured I'd miss him. But Hannibal is eliminated by Voss. He almost kills off Orb at 4,000 hit points. He's definitely glad that he had that additional hit points. Actually, it wouldn't have even mattered. He would have barely survived. But he has a lot of T1 PD. Looks like he maybe saw it coming. Possibly, maybe. But Team 2 loses a player. It's a 3v1. Still in favor for Team 1. Apologize for missing it. But that is unfortunate for Team 2. Mavor says Skynet, they finally see it. Again, it's not even in the yellow yet, so it's not even a concern at this point. Team 1's at 800 mass, Team 2's at 630. I mean, they're starting to gain that lead that they once had, and it's just not looking great. Fat Boy from Team 2 pushing in. There is a Megawith versus Megawith. Let's go, says Al. Talking about this. He's saying, hey, go after this. And we have a Monkeywood to the left there. The Megawith is going to turn around, and because everything is controlled by Zelby, he's going to keep pulling the Fat Boy back while pushing in the 2 Cybern Experimentals. This Megawith, I mean, it's in the green. This one's in the yellow. There's a lot of bricks here, though, and some Percy's inbound. But there's that Monkeywood. It is damaged, but it does still have a laser. It still does 100% of the damage, even at 1 HP. And here comes Strats, really going to blow that up. Wants to resume the game, but has to wait 6 seconds. So it looks like they paused it momentarily. The Megawith does get eliminated. The bricks turn around. Some of them get crushed. And honestly, this might actually favor Team 2. If they can get the reclaim, this might actually help them out a ton. The monkey is going to die. They probably could have tried to pull him back, but he's going to try to kill at least a couple more bricks to really make this reclaim field really be worth it. But there's a Fat Boy here from Team 2. There's no Fat Boy here from Team 1. If Team 1 can kill off this Fat Boy, then they can secure the reclaim field for sure. But with this here, good luck. You're not going to get realistically anything nearby. Actually, keep the Fat Boy moving because of the missiles and whatnot, but ooh, yeah, that's eating away at the Fat Boy. Look at that, 3,000 hit points on the shield and falling. Now it's taking hull plating damage. It is on 2-star vet, but look at those hit points. Those spearheads are nasty. They're like torrents, but on land, and don't fire as much. And Fat Boy is dead. So never mind. Team 1's going to get that reclaim field anyways. Should have just kept that Fat Boy falling back. Nope, hindsight, 2020, and we have the benefit of not being in the game, just watching it kind of thing. Artillery is down for Team 2's player of Zelby, the only player on Team 2 remaining. Looks like they targeted the Mavor and went, no, we're not dealing with that. They wipe it out. Oh, it looks like, yeah, maybe they sent, no, they didn't send any SACUs in because we were just in the wreck. Satellites probably also helped out with that. Yep, those are shots from the Duke. Yep, that's all gone. So the power for Team 1's Voss is kind of hurting now. Ooh, yeah, not good. He's still getting overflow from his teammates, but it's hurting. And Team 1's still sending some Percy's in. We have PD being built back there. Looks like they're trying to rush to eliminate the engineers from Team 1 to secure the reclaim. Voss sitting here underneath no shield with Nano on board, while his teammate of Orb almost back up into the green and has T3 actually subbed out his Nano. Oh, it was offline for a brief second, but not enough. Looks like the air grid is being targeted. Oh, and there goes Orb. Why? That was random. He almost got the shield pretty much stabilized, but I guess not. There's no P-gen that blew up or anything, so he just straight up control K'd. And Skynet says nice. Oh, accident. Yep, that's what I thought. I was like, that doesn't make any sense of why he would do that on purpose. Because, he was fine underneath the shield. It was on off, but he was fine. I mean, especially after surviving a telemaser. Like, why would you, But that would explain it. Looks like he probably tried to control K something else and had his comm selected by accident and died because of it. Some players have the insta control K active, and some players have the late. I don't know if you can just cancel the control K that has that countdown. I think you can. I want to say you can because that's why the countdown would exist. But again, I don't know offhand. Somebody in the comments probably knows. I don't, at least offhand. Novax, of course, under the control of Orb, handed off to Voss, so it gets rebuilt technically, but no cost though. It just gets handed over. Ooh, that's a nice little SACU bubble. Ooh, that one gets hit and kills off the SMD. That's a 2-for-1 combo. Doesn't blow up any SACUs though. But man, if it did, that's 10 mass a second times whatever. That's a lot of mass. And Nuke has been built for Team 2, also going for artillery. I mean, might as well cut your losses and do one or the other at this point. Shielding being upgraded to. Love to see that. Just to get the ring of the shielding, or the area of it a little bit bigger. And the shielding for that artillery piece is kind of waning. Again, it's 1 artillery versus 1 plus 2 Novaxes. Team 2 has 1 Novax overhead to deal with. These mexes are eliminated. That's unfortunate. That's a lot of mass that Zelby's leaving on the table. Plus, he's fixed some of those. He has to get some shielding and upgrade some of those on there. But again, he's dealing with it a lot. He was a 3v1. Now it's a 2v1. Probably make sure Artie doesn't go down, says Orb. Yeah, that's what he's talking about. Looks like he's assisting shielding, or was, at least what it looked like. And that shield is still online. Looks like he's saying, hey, go ping this one. It's just this one. This one's almost down. He's pinging it. Oh, he barely got it. Look at that. Oh, man, it's gone. Oh. 24, 25. What? That did not go down. That is impressive. I was like, oh, that should be dead. Oh, it's not dead now. That's awkward. We do see Team 1 is making some inroads on the land side of things. And again, that's the problem. Again, it's a 2v1. You could have one player doing all the base stuff, one player doing all the land stuff. And then for Zelby, it's trying to do both. And it's going to be overwhelming. It's not looking too bad so far, but they're not as close as like definitely danger situations. If they get to here without a significant defense force here for Team 2, that's game. Just straight up. There is a crab being built. There is that. But it's one of those things where it's just not looking good. It looks like he's going to reclaim that artillery that's already in the yellow. Maybe he's going to build a nuke out of it. Maybe. He's killed off an SMD here. I think there was an SMD here at some point, but it's gone. Maybe it was there. Maybe it wasn't. We have an SMD there, and that's the only... No, there's no way that's the only SMD. Oh, it is the only SMD. P-Gen hits, kills off the artillery. Oh, that's rough. The satellite still remains. There's that. Team 1 has that, but with a lot of that pressure now gone, yeah, the shields were going down. The shield goes back online, though. With one satellite, though, I mean, you have to worry about it still, but it's not as bad as 2. It's not as bad as an artillery plus a satellite. It is definitely a lot more manageable. It looks like Team 2 is targeting that SMD. It could come down to if Team 2 can knock out at least this chunk with a nuke, and then maybe they can grab that chunk because there's a lot of mass there, and then maybe this chunk that might encourage a Control K from the remainder of Team 1, because the air grid is pretty much gone. There's the T3 area quarters, but that's it. Team 1 doesn't have any much of an air grid. Team 2 could try to win the game with air, because Voss does have some ASFs, but he's not really building more of them. He's also stockpiling mass. They can't spend as much as he really would like to. We do see some Percys down here. Ooh, that's interesting. The SACU goes down. I say producing facility. The Quantum Gateway goes down. Nuke is getting some PD defenses now. Fat Boy is still sitting there. We have T2 artillery raining in on that. Probably should move that. Probably. The satellites have come home to assist. Looks like... Where'd that other megalith go? Oh, it's just sitting there. Yeah, Gunthers are being built all the time. I mean, they're kind of getting a nice 2-for-1 because they're kind of getting a little bit of AoE spread onto both of them. Oh, yeah, that Fat Boy's not going to live much longer, especially with the satellites overhead. And it looks like shots are coming in from the west as well. SACU goes down as well. Percy is just eliminating SACUs over here. That's more mass gone for Team 2. It's doubled in favor for Team 1 at this point, about 1,000 to 500. And again, I think as long as Team 2 can just maybe pump out some nukes, eliminate some specific locations, he probably will be fine. But if Team 1 can overwhelm them in any degree, that's probably Team 1's win, realistically. Because there's just so much going on that there's going to be so many leaks in the bucket, he can't keep the bucket together kind of thing. We have air fight. He was building some ASFs as well. Oh, if he wins air, which it looks like he probably will, it's going to be big for Team 2 if he can manage doing air and land defense and artillery, satellite, nuke, base management. And it's a lot to manage, especially at 55 minutes. That frustration, fatigue, all of that is setting in now. And those actions are becoming sluggish. Even if you're playing at peak time, peak performance, even if you're playing at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning like some players do, which again, I will never understand that. My brain hardly functions as it is, let alone at 4 o'clock in the morning. The only thing I can barely do now at this point is stay up to like 2. I used to stay up to like 5, 4 almost every night for school or whatever else. But school being college, not school being high school. Yeah, I can't. Now it's like I get to midnight maybe, and I'm like, oh, I'm dead. I don't know. It's just the feeling of progressing in the years, I guess, is probably what it ends up being. Nuke, how we looking? Decent. It's almost loaded. 56 minutes in climbing. Team 1 still has the Novaks, and they're rebuilding the artillery. It's almost done. They, again, were able to capitalize on the wreck from that artillery piece. And they're going to build a second one here, but not a Mayabor. They're going to build a regular one, which I think is definitely a good call. A way to spend that mass. Spending that mass now, so definitely a good way to spend it. Because, again, it's all about overwhelming. It's all about satellites for the win, says Hannibal. I mean, they are very useful. Those games where one player has 1,000 of one thing. Yeah, it's kind of cool to watch them have 1,000 of one thing, but it becomes a not as much entertaining of a cast as a replay, just because it's okay. This one player that has 6 artillery pieces now has 8. Okay, let's see what he can do. And then the crazy thing is if he loses like 5 of them, it's like, oh my goodness, he lost more than half of his artillery. Oh no. Oh, that's the exciting part. Ooh, Voss. Kind of getting shot at there, bud. But he has not moved. You know, ever since the satellites and artillery were shooting at his Maywar to begin with. Shield pop back online. Look at that. He's just kind of been sitting there. Air grid's being rebuilt. Love to see that. Also getting some shielding. He's also splitting it. So there's not going to be a cascade to it. Love it to see that. I like how there's more of a regular air grid versus whatever this 5 P-gens. 1 air grid. Go. SMD is still here. It's loaded 3 times. Again, I will note that the SMD does not... That is the wrong player. Does not cover this eastern base. So the nuke from Team 2 could just ignore that side and go straight for this. And maybe even eliminate Voss. Make it a 1v1. And then go from there. And then it's kind of the same boat that Zelby's been in for a while now. But we will see what Zelby prioritizes. He might be worried about the artillery and satellite combo, which is probably why he's targeting this. I am surprised nobody on Team 1, being Voss specifically, or even Orb for that matter, didn't build an SMD over here. Maybe he had one here by his comm. Oh, look at that. Build anti-nuke. Look at that. 58 minutes almost. There's the nuke. There's the nuke. It's lit. You going to fire it? No, he's going to wait. He's going to wait for that western side. See, at this point, you might as well just eliminate a player and make it a 1v1. Here comes some Janus. That's going to help send it over the edge in terms of going after that SMD. SMD has already taken some damage. And there goes the holy baking of that SMD. The Janus will not get a second opportunity. Oh, maybe they did get a second opportunity. Never mind. They were able to at least coat some of the shielding and fire. Nuke should be launching now, you'd imagine. Yep, there it is. 58 minutes on the clock. First nuke of the game in this over 1 hour replay. Finally, a nuke is fired. And it will land. There is no SMD anywhere else on Team 1 side of the map. Anywhere. All the ACUs are fleeing. Everything is fleeing. Lovely. Just get out of dodge there from Team 1. Are the comms moving? That comm is not moving. That comm is moving. That would be a good target right there. Team 2 sees him. Here comes the nuke. And it's going to be glorious. Kaboom! Wipes out the Novax. Wipes out the artillery. Wipes out essentially everything that Book of Guns had. At least that was where his position was. And now it's a chunk of eco gone for Team 1 as well. It's not a lot, but, you know, some power, some something. Bug is online. I mean, I'm not a fan of the bug. It's not a... I mean, all the experimentals in this game are not bad, but I'm just not a fan of this one. So, because the Tsar, you have it's just a big giant donut / alien spaceship. So there's the aesthetic to it. There's also, you know, the crash damage is the most because it's a big giant saucer. And then the Awasa bomber, at least if you can fire the bomb from the bomber, you can get, maybe if it dies or right after it fires, you can get a little bit of crash damage, and then you can get the bomb if you're targeting the same thing. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1, kind of. It was a 2-for-1 initially when they, before they nerfed the crash damage thing. So it was definitely a strategy to literally just fire and then control cat, because the death clone of the unit would land before the bomb would go off. And so you'd be able to maybe hit the shields, destroy shielding or something underneath, and then the bomb would just annihilate everything. But you can kind of do that now. It's not as bad, though. It is not a you can do that every time strategy kind of thing. Janus lighting up the top of that fatty. And I will note the fire stays in the air, so that fat boy is still fine. And third satellite has been started by Zelby. Team 2, they need an SMD somewhere. They need an SMD somewhere. I do see this, though. That's not looking good for Team 2 at all. If they continue pushing this, again, it's about overwhelming defenses. There's that one artillery piece that's online. That's where that second nuke is most definitely going. Shield says Skynet in one of his Novaxes isn't shielded. How's his nuke going? Oh, it's 111,000 Masco with that first one. If he actually, forget this, go for the nuke and then just fire spam that thing like a YOLO. Blow this up, because you can see there's no SMD here. You might as well blow it up with the nuke and call it a day. Even if the comm moves, even if you don't get the kill on the comm, you kill off the artillery, you deal with this, and then maybe you deal with this is the next thing, because it's inbound right now, and he should see that. That is, yeah, that's team 2. He does not see that, which means he does not have an Omni online, which he does sort of see stuff now, but oh, he should have an Omni online. Where is it? Hold on. I don't actually see where his Omni is. That's not great for Team 2, because they definitely should have that. Why do they can see radar signatures up there? There has to be somewhere. Where is it? They don't see any of that? That's even the FAF boy does not have a stealth field generator. They don't even see that. Yeah, they don't see that. What's going on with that? Odd. Anyway, maybe it's the range on the Novaxes, maybe? Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's the range on the Novaxes. That's what it is. That's a huge radar range. Jeez. And that's their Omni range is the visual, and then the red is what they can shoot at. Those satellites are so powerful, so incredibly powerful. Even if it's just for spotting, it's incredibly powerful. 2 bugs going after a FAF boy, and see, now that's a good use of a bug, just killing off a FAF boy like that, eating it up, num num num. 2 megas versus 2 megas plus a monkey plus a bunch of support, and these megas are heavily damaged. Why is he bringing them forward? He should keep them back, build up another one, build up artillery, build up something, and let the fight come to him. Because the fight went to Team 1. Team 1's been getting the reclaim very well. Team 2, no slacker there, 375,000, but Team 1 has the mass advantage. Team 1 has the the unit advantage. If that PGEM blows up, that's a dead artillery piece, is what that is. Nuke, says Skynet. I mean, yeah, it would be a defense nuke. It's almost loaded. None of the megawatts are here because they're dead. There's a bug almost online. There's 2 bugs inbound, but look at all the AA. Team 1 said absolutely not. And they might kill off the monkey. That might be the only thing they get. So much AA. Look at that all that AA. Look at it all, just eating them alive. And here comes some ASFs. They kill off the first one. They're going to kill off the second one here right now. So there's 2 megas still here for Team 1. I mean, there's another bug, but that's not going to do much against all that AA and the ASFs that are kind of still there. 1v4 whole game, says LB. I don't know about that. Nuke is loaded. I mean, it's going to be a point defense nuke. You might have to blow some of your own stuff up, but you would survive. I mean, you might as well fire it and just see what you can do. You'd have to go now. Probably land it right about there. Because it has to go up, over, and down. I might even just go like that. And there goes a control K from Zelby. I mean, that's unfortunate. Had he spam loaded a nuke, he still didn't kill off that artillery for Team 2 or for Team 1. And that's unfortunate for Team 2. There were moments where he could have come back and really stomped. I mean, he killed off this one. Had he kept spam loading that nuke, he would have definitely been able to fire another one into this, stop worrying about that, and then maybe he could have done something about this land force. But it was a 2-to-1 advantage for mass. Essentially, all Team 1 had to do was just hang out, build up defenses, shielding units, and then just wait. Or just build another Maybor, because why not? But they wanted to end it, which I don't blame them. But Team 1 wins the game again, over an hour game, so hopefully everybody enjoyed this a little bit longer of a replay, at least in terms of a ladder match at a bare minimum. Thanks so much for watching the very end of the video, and I will see all of you in the next one.